What is the biggest plot inconsistency in Demon Slayer? Looking at the overall world building, the most controversial part has to be the Demon Slayer Corps' final selection process. Let's start with their core belief. Kagaya Ubuyashiki once said, "Every member is like his own child." Yet in practice, the selection process tells a very different story. Large numbers of untrained recruits are sent straight into Mount Fujikasane to fight demons on their own, with no senior slayers protecting them and no real rescue system in place. From Tanjiro's exam alone, we can see how brutal it is. Many enter the mountain, but only a handful survive. And the only rule is simply stay alive, which means if you're not strong enough, there's almost no chance to withdraw or be saved. More importantly, the demons inside aren't cleared out. They continue to survive and grow stronger, gaining experience over time. Some, like the hand demon, even specialize in hunting new recruits. As a result, even talented swordsmen can die before they ever get a chance. Take Sabito for example. He was one of the strongest in his class and even saved Giyu Tomioka, yet he still died during the selection. Had he survived, the Corps might have gained another powerful fighter. Looking at the results, this system struggles to reliably select talent and fails to maintain the Corps' numbers. As demons continue to grow stronger, the survival rate of new recruits only keeps dropping. So whether from the perspective of protecting lives or building real combat strength, this selection system is clearly flawed. If it were up to you, would you keep this survival of the fittest test or change how the Demon Slayer Corps selects its members? How powerful is water breathing and how many styles has it given rise to? Let's start with water breathing itself. First, it has a wide range of forms. Excluding Giyu Tomioka's self-created 11 form, there are already 10 forms in its base style. Second, it's extremely well-rounded. It includes basic slashes as well as thrusts, multi-hit combos, and defensive techniques. In terms of speed, power, and precision, it stays fairly balanced, making it highly adaptable in battle. First form, water surface slash is the most fundamental technique. A single, clean strike with solid power, used by Tanjiro to defeat the hand demon. Third form, flowing dance uses rapid movement to create a winding path, combining mobility with continuous attacks. Sixth form, whirlpool uses body rotation to generate a spinning attack, requiring high-level technique and physical control. 10th form, constant flux builds power with each successive strike, becoming a decisive moment in the battle at Natagumo Mountain. Beyond its versatility, water breathing's greatest strength is its adaptability. As one of the 5 core breathing styles, it serves as the foundation for many others. For example, serpent breathing enhances unpredictable trajectories, making its blade movements difficult to read. Flower breathing follows a similar balance of offense and defense, but emphasizes elegance and fluidity. And insect breathing evolved from flower breathing, abandoning slashes entirely to focus on high-speed thrusts and poison. Because of this, water breathing is both stable and versatile, with strong potential for evolution. So among all the breathing styles, which one would you choose? When the blade broke, what was Giyu thinking? At first glance, Giyu always seemed calm and quiet, as if he kept everyone at a distance. But that loneliness came from loss he experienced far too early. His sister gave her life to protect him, and that moment left a deep sense of guilt in his heart. Until the day he met Sabito, a boy who shined like sunlight, the only light in Giyu's gray world. For the first time, Giyu told someone the story of his sister, and for the first time, he spoke about the guilt that weighed on him. Only in front of Sabito could those feelings finally find a way out. But the final selection became another turning point. When Giyu woke up, Sabito never came back. From that day on, Giyu believed he was only alive because someone else paid the price. Since then, every step Giyu takes feels like he's walking the path Sabito left behind. The haori he wears carries the memories of both his sister and Sabito. Even when it's torn in battle, he never lets it go. And when Tanjiro falls, Giyu still stands in front. In that moment, he finally answers the belief Sabito left him. Even if his blade breaks, even if his body is wounded, the lesson Sabito gave him to protect others is what keeps him moving forward. So what do you think about the bond between Giyu and Sabito? How big is the difference between the Demon Slayer manga and the anime? This is Tanjiro in the anime, gentle and reliable, with a warm smile. But in the original manga, he often appears with all kinds of exaggerated expression. This is a confused Tanjiro, and this one is Tanjiro laughing out loud. There's even a tiny, curled up mini Tanjiro. The difference in style is honestly huge. Now let's look at his teammate Zenitsu, Agatsuma. In the anime, he's the cute blonde boy, but in certain manga panels, his hairstyle and expressions are drawn in a very exaggerated way. Sometimes he even looks like a sunflower suddenly blooming. Here's the anime version of their disguise scene. Standing next to Tengen Uzui, one looks cool and composed, the other looks adorable. But in the manga, the same moment actually looks like this. Even Tengen ends up looking a bit different. Now let's look at two Hashira, Giyu Tomioka and Muichiro Tokito. In the anime, Giyu appears calm and reserved, with a cool and distant presence. Muichiro is portrayed as a quiet genius with an air of detachment. But in some manga scenes, their expressions are simplified into a very loose and playful style. When Giyu first appears in the anime, he looks cool and serious. But in the manga, this is what he looks like. That hairstyle is surprisingly rough. So when you read the manga, did any of these expressions make you laugh?